Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. For the second straight Saturday, we are live at the Leon Center, where the Peterborough Petes are in town for the back end of a home-and-home preseason series with the Kingston Frontenacs. That kicked off just over a week ago, where the Fronts took the front end by a score of 9-2. This evening, it'll be the Petes looking for a little revenge, but Kingston would love to keep their preseason record unblemished as they look to go 3 for 3 in action so far. I'm Alan Atmansky, and I will have all of this action for you this evening from the heart of downtown Kingston. Glad you could be with us for this one. Starting things off, it'll be Tucker Robertson against the returning Jordan Frasca. Puck is down, Pete's in control, and we are underway in the Limestone City. It's Peterborough who dumps this one out. Aiden Spooner will come out of the cage and throw it to the right corner. Jake Murray went up the wall with it. McMullen cut that one down. Now Lucas Perrick will come out the left side. He just lobs that one ahead, looking to get out of trouble. It is gloved at center by Donovan McCoy, the 21st rounder from the Peterborough Petes, and put in by the Fronts after some pressure to force his hand. Gathering it is Robertson as he's forced into the wall by Frasca. A bit of jockeying, and now it comes loose. Soto to the line. Ethan Ritchie also back in the lineup for the Frontenacs. He'll just send that one back deep. Of course, both Frasca and Ethan Ritchie away at NHL camps. Frasca at the Maple Leafs, while Ritchie saw action for the Carolina Hurricanes. This one pinballed off a couple of legs and then out through the zone, where the Petes will just drive it back out to center. Costantino finds Shane Wright, who then doubles back with it and deposits that one to Ethan Ritchie through center. He was looking to connect with Ludwinski but could not find a home. Maillet there. Gave it to Wright. Now he'll find Ludwinski driving down the middle. Wrist shot from well out. And that one is gloved quickly and held on to by Ty Austin, the Pembroke, Ontario native, as we get our first stoppage, a minute 17 in. And a look at the starting netminders for this one. And as I mentioned, Ty Austin gathering the stop for the Peterborough Petes. He sees action for the Maroon. And I believe off the top of my head, this is his first start for Peterborough. And at the other end, Aiden Spooner in the Kingston cage. Spooner, out of Maple, Ontario, was an under-18 draft pick for the Frontenacs back in 2019. Of course, the OHL adding that second draft just a few short years ago, and Kingston hoping that they could find a hidden gem with their selection just 2 seasons back. Peterborough in their own zone right now. Maillet, he threw it to Gagne, who was crunched by Nathan Poole, who saw that one developing all the way from Gananoque. Kingston drives this one back down, but icing whistled. And so in front of Aiden Spooner, he will get some action as the pace slows a little bit in the early stages of period number 1. The Peterborough Petes have been one of the more active OHL teams in the preseason. 4 games under their belt so far. They kicked it off with a 2-1 shootout loss against the Ottawa 67s, and then a 9-2 loss against the same Kingston Frontenacs they are seeing tonight. Sudbury down them 5-2, but 2 nights ago they got back into the win column, a 4-3 shootout victory over Sarnia, and they will wrap up the preseason October 1st against the Sarnia Sting with a visit to their Beehive. Played behind the net by Austin, but tons of black and gold there. A shot came whistling off the stick of Gage Hayes, and it's stopped by Austin, who looks very tall, making himself look very big in the Pete's blue paint to our broadcast right. Kingston with the early 4-0 edge in the shot department as Frasca returns, squaring up against former Front Callaway Mercer. Frasca, clean win, another shot coming this time off the stick, a quick stick of Lucas Edmonds, who has proved to show his veteran worth through 2 games in this young preseason. Draw up coming with some jockeying. Mercer ties up Frasca. The feet keep going, and it's the Fronts who knocked it ahead, but quickly settled back in there as it was Smith for Peterborough, but Frasca on the hunt again. He likes that high slot area. We saw him score a couple in the Leafs camp from that same spot, and there he was looking for it, but the Petes would not give it to him. Swinging in, that's Donovan McCoy. Fanned on his outlet feed, and then it goes in front. Gloved at by Smith, settled at the line. There's Jake Murray off balance. Shot goes trickling into the corner. Swept in by Edmonds. Frasca is sandwiched. Pete's collects. Skating this one away will be Carson Whitson. Got to the Kingston line before losing it. Now Jake Murray. Quick swing pass out to the right side. Ledwinski dodges the check of Maillet. Breaks in on his off wing. And he lost it just as he got to the edge of the circle. Now that centering pass could have been lethal, but the Pete's collect and bring it out. McMullen had it knocked away. Following through is Siemens. Siemens got it deep, and then they'll slide it back to the blue line. Maillet across to that right side. Shots deflected. Scores. Right on the doorstep. It's the centerman, I believe, Tucker Robertson, with the depth touch. Gets it past Aiden Spooner, and the Petes are up 1-0. Somehow Robertson got in there all alone at the edge of Aiden Spooner's crease. The shot wasn't powerful from the point, but it was effective. The tip was there. It gets through the wickets of Aiden Spooner, and it's an early 1-0 lead for the Peterborough Petes on their first shot of the contest. Knocked in by Hughes as it rolls behind Austin's cage. The Petes will collect this one. The pass there was attempted by Josh Kavanaugh. Finally, it rolls out to center. Collins trying to get control of it. It was up in his equipment, and then he takes a high stick. That goes unnoticed by both officials, and it'll be dumped off by Peterborough. Burns whiffed on that one. Second effort from Kingston will yield in a clear, but it's the maroon and white who get to it. That's Connor Smith, has some space in front of him, takes it with a snapshot, dumping it around. Right side of the ice coming off the bench was Nick Lardis. Following through, that was DeZodi, and then finally Aiden Spooner's had enough, so he'll fall on that one. Cover it and take the stoppage. Had to double check my notes for a second. Aiden Spooner looking a little like Ryan Dugas in there when I looked quickly. But it is indeed the Maple Ontario native. As the Petes ring iron off the face-off win, and then they get a second crack at it with some feverish action at the doorstep. McCoy at the line, little hesitation. Gets out of trouble there as he was being pressured by Gage Hayes, who then is dumped by McCoy. Hayes able to keep his helmet on, but he's going to have to head off as he readjusts it. Jacques Dubois for Lardis, and his shot goes squibbing by the right side of the net. Out at center, backing off is Smith. Now he'll find a home as it's collected by DeZodi and plays it back to Smith. Then he goes down the right side, and both teams in the midst of a change had to be careful not to get dinged for too many men there. We've hit 5 minutes gone in the first period. Peterborough up 1-0, looking to add here. Short side stuff is collected by Spooner now into that far corner. Working into that Cole Patey. Loose puck. Kingston finds control, and Edmonds will head for comfort behind the cage of Aiden Spooner. Was forced out, throws a pass into the corner. Now they'll head back to the same spot as Perrick quarterbacks this breakout. Long stretch pass was looking for Frasca. That one travels the full length of the St. Lawrence River and brings it back off the icing call. 14:32 to go. I mentioned that the Peterborough Petes will wrap things up in the preseason against the Sarnia Sting October 1st. Kingston will do it this upcoming Wednesday as they travel to the nation's capital to meet in the back end of a home-and-home with the Ottawa 67s. Kingston bested the Barber Poles 5-1 last Saturday right here at the Leon Center, so Ottawa will be looking to even that up. Defensive win for Jordan Frasca there as he got it for Jake Murray. Little hack from Edmonds, can't get it cleared as he took a blindside hit there, and that's going to bring about the first power play of the game. Kingston going up a man. What will they call it, though? It was a blindside hit from the back. Referee Albers signaling. And the culprit on that one was Casper Siemens. So Kingston going to work up a man here to see if they can even it, but it's going to be a short-handed dump out by Peterborough. They were looking for that 2-on-1 break, but Lucas Perrick alertly got back, and he's able to stop that one before it can develop. Now Perrick will be the quarterback on this attack up ice. Gets over center and then reverses the flow of things. Hit Edmonds, who comes through. Dodges a pair of checks as he split both Robertson and McCoy. At the line, Perrick swung it to the right side. Nobody home. Here's Robertson. Little one-hander gets it out. And then he heads off for a change as we've got 30 seconds off of the call against Siemens already. Perrick right down the middle. Little fake. Lost it. And then it's dumped back in off the stick of Callaway Mercer. There's Wright. Ludwinski back to Wright. Connects to Ludwinski. They indeed call that penalty blindsiding. It was a little elbow that came and caught Lucas Edmonds from behind. Didn't see it coming. So Siemens sits 2 or less as Kingston goes to work here. Costantino just waded in over the line and then lost it as he tried to find Thibodeau with it. Jake Murray collects this one behind Spooter and comes out to the right side. Head up all the way. He's looking for an outlet. Finds it in Soto, who dodges a check. He'll slide that one in, and Kingston's got the zone. Collins with a bump there. Thibodeau rims it around. Murray cuts that one down at the left point. Slid it to the right circle. Back onto it is Thibodeau behind the net. Collins cuts that one down, but he's hammered by Smith. 2 big bodies going at it there. Finally, the puck comes free. Peterborough tries to clear it. They can't as Thibodeau provides some trouble. The second one gets all the way down, and Spooner knocks that. 10 seconds to go in the power play, 12.5 in the period. Pete's on top 1-0 thanks to the goal by Robertson. Backside of Brooks stops that one at the blue line. Swinging it the other way is Mercer. Over the line, found Siemens coming out of the penalty benches. Was hit, though, and lost it. Now cutting back with it for Kingston was Poole. Got it for Budnick, who then sends that one back to the dots in the Peterborough Pete's end. Brooks, little chip pass for Hughes. Behind the net, plays it off the net, and then back to himself. Budnick at the right point. Wrist shot came in. The boards here at the Leon Center are alive when those rebounds come off, and there you saw exactly that. Peterborough clears it to the Kingston Blue. Now Edmonds. Last man back, just slides it off to the wing. It'll come near side to Frasca. He'll take a walk, trying to beat 2 Peterborough Petes. Instead, he'll run out of real estate and turn it over. Pass slid there, and then a big body of Jake Murray flattens Dezoti there, and he's still looking for a number on who committed that. Now Murray, he'll whip one in there that went along the glove side of the ice. Bouncing at the hash marks. Jake Murray again throwing his weight around, this time on Lardis. Soto, he's bumped awkwardly by Dubois, the former Wellington Duke, getting the better of Matthew Soto there. Dezoti dumps it off. Full changes for both sides as we near the midpoint of period number 1. Shots dead even at 6 apiece. Peterborough, though, on top in the one-shot department that matters, the goal column. Here's Thibodeau, all tied up by, I believe that was Dubois. Now does Siemens in the corner, working it along the perimeter. Puck sitting there. Reyers back to the line. There's the big body of Leskover keeping it in, and then the shot came from Siemens and is gloved by Spooner there. Good action from the Peterborough Petes as that all starts from Reyers keeping it alive at the line. You can hear the drum of Barrick the Bear beating here, trying to get the fans going at Leon Center on a Saturday night. Good news for all OHL teams was that attendance could be half of what capacity is, so that would put this Leon Center somewhere around 2,500 or just over. A severe upgrade over the 1,000 they were allowed just a week ago. There's Collins, who was bumped by Mercer. Costantino in there as well. 3-on-2, and Kingston wins it. Dug free by the black and gold. Now Ritchie with a snap off the dasher. Weak side, Collins finds it. Played it back to the line. Not a lot of mustard on that one, and now it'll be brought away by Mercer. Out to Paytee. Lost it, though, as it went off his backside. Falling through as McCoy got it in. No help, though, and now Ritchie will take it. Far side of the rink, put it right on the stick of Hayes, who returns it to Ritchie. He'll just give a little backhand feed to Shane Wright, who quickly finds Thibodeau, and he's got a step. Here comes Chris Thibodeau upstairs. Backhand shot is turned aside by the veteran Ty Austin. Good opportunity for Kingston there as they get it back at the line. Burns, one-timer from Budnick, and the stick explodes right in his hands. Robertson to McMullen. Brooks giving him the business. Puck rolls back loose, and Robertson will try the right side. He had to have his head on a swivel there. Soft footsteps and heard them too. McMullen dancing in on Burns, and now he'll take it as McMullen gave it up. Burns to center and then in. Wholesale change for Kingston. That was Maillet, my apologies. Turned it over. Edmonds put it right in. The pads of Austin, though, active to our right. Rugby scrum right in the corner. Kingston outnumbered, and it is Peterborough who wins it. Samuel Maillet just banked that one off the boards. They are the defenseman's best friend when they get in trouble. That's Murray. Just putting it back in. He's going to make the Petes work for it, and they turn it over. Here's Frasca, centering feed for Edmonds. Comes back to Frasca. Murray from the line. Fakes the shot. Low wrister. That one didn't even get seen by Ty Austin until it was too late, but it wasn't on the mark. Frasca battling in there. Murray alertly finds Perrick on that left point shot. Deflection from Edmonds comes off the glass. Lardis now. He's going to battle along with Kavanaugh. Soto also in there for the fronts. Loose puck. Picked up. That's Edmonds. Murray takes a walk from that right point position. Didn't have anything in front, but allows his mates to get a change, so he'll slide that one back around. Thibodeau. Shane Wright off of that. Snapshot. Low pad stop from Austin. Now Ludwinski feeds Perrick. Snapshot. That one was blocked. And selflessly, the Peterborough defenseman, I'm trying to see who that was, and I believe it was Sam Alfano who took that one. And then there Thibodeau was dumped illegally, and so Kingston is going to get a second power play here, as that was a no doubt about her. Thibodeau dumped the man responsible, Connor Smith. And they're going to have a chat here as we get our timeout in the first period. First whistle after the 10-minute mark brings about the usual timeout for the teams, and they'll do a scrape of the ice. And here the officials converge, and we will have to see what gets put up on the clock. Referee Albers was the one that orchestrated that conversation, and he was the one that did so for the blindside hit as well. Your officiating crew for tonight's game: the linesman Brendan Schreider and Scott Wilson. The referees Ryan Albers, the veteran of the two, and Danny Emerson, a local referee who has put his time in at the lower levels, now getting a look at the OHL level, which is great to see promotion from within. 2 on the board against Connor Smith. So Kingston will go to work for the second time this evening. They win the faceoff. Costantino playing up on the forward trio there with Thibodeau manning the right point. They call it checking to the head. And so this one will be dumped out by Peterborough, and Kingston will have to reset from behind Spooner. Murray will be the one to get it. The product out of Oakville, Ontario. Kingston's first round selection way back in 2018. Brought it up, but the fronts are offside. So that stops things in their tracks, and they'll have to reset. Shane Wright centering Jordan Frasca on the right wing, and Paul Ludwinski on the left as this forward trio up front. On the backside, Lucas Perrick and Lucas Edmonds. So a forward playing the point position, which is not uncommon. Here's Ludwinski, tried to feed Frasca in the slot, but it hit a skate, went off course. Edmonds off the blue line. Down low to Frasca, and then back at the line, Perrick. Right point into the slot. Frasca scores! Jordan Frasca took the feed from Shane Wright And as I mentioned, that high slot is where he likes. And you see just why. Frasca for the France 1-1 game. That was a good-looking power play from the Kingston Frontenacs. They worked it from the corner back to the line and then into the high slot when the space opened and allowed them. And Jordan Frasca, the veteran that was acquired from the Windsor Spitfires a few seasons back, cashes in, gets his first of the preseason, and it's an even Stephen hockey game. Front's back on the attack. Budnick across for Burns. That one comes off those end boards, and Kingston using the home ice advantage, knowing that was going to materialize, and they grab the rebound there in front. Pool from the hand to the stick, and then in on Austin. A good display of hand-eye coordination there from Nathan Poole. Budnick back to get it. Just swats it up the boards. There's Stewart looking for it. Can't find anybody in the black and gold, so James Go will take it. Icing against Peterborough, 5:32 to go in the first. No surprise there, the goal reads Jordan Frasca from Shane Wright and Lucas Perrick. At 14:36 to make us back to where we started, tied, this time at 1-1. Backing off, that's Ritchie looking for some space. Gets it for Constantino, who then returns it. Now Ethan Ritchie, the former Georgetown Raider, was picked up by the Fronts 2 seasons ago off the waiver wire and has proved to be a useful piece on the blue line. And it should be a very young blue line this year for the Kingston Frontenacs, but that is the case if you look around the OHL. Many teams in the same boat. Here the Pete's back on the attack. One-timer in there as it was fired by Josh Kavanaugh. Joined late, but Aiden Spooner got enough to keep that one out. And it breaks up ice quickly for the Frontenacs. Hayes to Thibodeau. He lost it. Back onto it was Robertson, but the big body of Murray forced him away. Now Jake Murray brings it back to the middle. Finds Edmonds coming through with speed. He'll break in over the Peterborough blue line. Edmonds drops the shoulder, goes high on Austin as the transition was a beauty. And then Frasca dumps Smith, and that will bring about Peterborough's first power play of tonight's game. Frasca for boarding. Probably could have called it cross-checking. Nonetheless, referee Albers, very active in this opening 20. He calls that one as well and sends Peterborough to the power play, and they will start off with Siemens, Lardis, and on the draw was Jax Dubois back at the line. Maillet playing along with James Go. That is the quintet on this power play to start for Peterborough. Maillet's shot blocked by Ledwinski. Goes to the right circle as Lardis swings it back, and now it comes near point for Maillet, who just lasers that one in there. Not a lot of mustard, though. Got it in, and then the redirection off of Maillet, and it's put in past Spooner. This time, Casper Siemens with the touch. And another deflection, another goal for the maroon and white as they go back on top late in the first, 2-1. One power play, one goal for the Peterborough Petes as they were effective on that one. And again, it comes from offense on the blue line. They don't score, the blue line doesn't, but they create it. A shot comes in, the deflection was there. It beats Spooner, and just like the first one, another deflection, another goal. Peterborough in front late first. Here's Collins. Dumped it off, and there's Smith to get it. He gave it right back to the Fronts, who then do the same. And now Peterborough will try to clear, but they are unsuccessful. Murray, Collins, snapshot off the stick of McCoy, goes to the far side of the rink. And that'll be picked up by Carson Whitson. Murray gives him a bump. Long shot from well out, this time off of Mercer. And Aiden Spooner will snare that one with that right web paw and keep it. It's been a while since I've seen him. And then the shot, rebound, scores! And this time, it came off of a face-off play, and it's the same culprit. Casper Siemens able to cash in off of a broken play, it looked like. A rebound to Casper Siemens, and he gets his second goal of the evening, and Peterborough finds themselves up by a pair. Mere moments after going up 2-1. We'll have to wait for the goal call to see who also got the help on that one. James Go and Samuel Maillet pick up the assist on Casper Siemens' first goal back on the power play at 16:04. And here Peterborough is going back to work as Matthew Soto is going to be dinged for tripping. As the saying goes, 2 or less. And Peterborough back to work. They already cashed in on their only opportunity so far tonight. Now they will get the second one. Robertson, clean win. They get it to Kavanaugh, who then goes back to that open right point. Middle of the line, Kavanaugh. Back to Robertson, left circle. Snap shot, short side on the glove hand of Spooner. Missed. They're back in front, though, and this time the fronts get there to cover up. Working it was DeZotti. And then the fronts break that one up and send it the full length of the ice surface here at Leon's center. Setting it up from behind their netminder, quarterbacking it is Josh Kavanaugh. Up ahead, DeZotti, Alfano. Robertson and McMullen the assists on the Siemens goal. Came about 30 seconds after their power play one. Pete's in front 3-1. This will be sent down ice by Maddox Collins with 1:45 to go in the period. Just under a minute to go in the power play for Peterborough. They have looked good in this opening 20 shots. A lot of them so far. 14-12 for the Lift Lock City lads as well. Here's Maillet to Lardis. He'll curl off the corner, back at the line, stopping it, and then firing it in there was James Go. Ritchie will spin his man out of the front of the net and allow both sides to regroup. The offense for the Kingston Frontenacs has been hot so far this preseason. They have outscored their opponents 14-3. But so far, the Pete's putting up the same amount of goals that Kingston has allowed all preseason in just one period so far. And looking at their preseason record, you kind of think that they were due to break out at some point, the Pete's. But a good first period so far from them. Of course, hockey games are 60 minutes for a reason, and we still have a long way to go in this one. Plenty of time for Kingston to come to life as they send this one the full ride. Austin got the paddle down and will leave it to go. Rolling puck won't settle for him. Finally gets it under control and will put it to the former Quinty Red Devil, Donovan McCoy. He lost it, though, inside the line as Perrick tried to clear but couldn't. Now it will get out to center ice. There to take it was Connor Smith, who will bounce that one in. It goes skipping behind the Kingston goal. Murray gets around Gagne, and then Soto twisted himself into all sorts of knots that proved to be troublesome. Ludwinski to right. He comes in over the line, hits the brakes, waits for something to come in. Budnick's shot right into the body of Ryer. Ryers looked to be wincing in pain a little bit, but he remains out there. Budnick steps in to Alfano, who is heading off quickly after that one, and he appears to be in some pain. 10 seconds to go in the period. Robertson left it to the corner for Maillet, and then Smith off the boards ahead to McMullen. Takes a walk. Final seconds of the period tick off as Burns stepped up into his man, but that will bring a close to the first period. And we saw 4 goals in that opening frame, 3 of them from Peterborough, 1 from the front. Peterborough got a pair from Casper Siemens and another from Tucker Robertson. The only reply from Kingston was on the power play from the stick of Jordan Frasca, who returned to the lineup, and that is where we sit through 20 minutes. Shots on goal, 15-12 for the Peterborough Petes. They're on top 3-1 after 1 here at the Leon Center. We'll step aside for the intermission and come back for the middle frame of tonight's contest. You are watching Fronts and Petes on the Kingston Frontenacs YouTube channel. Welcome back inside Leon Center, where we have 20 minutes of play between the Peterborough Petes and the Kingston Frontenacs on the books. And through those 20 minutes, it's a 3-1 Petes lead. How did we get here? Well, at 3:33, the scoring was opened as Tucker Robertson redirected a shot that came off the stick of James Go. Another assist to Samuel Maillet made it 1-0 Peterborough, but then Kingston had the response on the power play. At 14:36, Jordan Frasca from the high slot off the feed from Shane Wright, who got it from Lucas Perrick, made it a 1-1 game, and then it was the Petes who went to work. The first of a pair from Casper Siemens made it 2-1. The assists on that one going to Samuel Maillet and James Go at 16:04 on the power play, and then Siemens from Robertson and McMullen at 16:35 made it 3-1, and that is where we sit so far in Saturday night action here in Kingston. Shots on goal in that opening period, 15-12 for the Peterborough Petes. Ty Austin, Aiden Spooner, the two netminders. We're just waiting for the intermission clock to wind down, and then we will get the second period going. But it was a good opening period from the Peterborough Petes, who kept the Kingston offense in check and really limited the opportunities they had to do any damage. Of course, Kingston looking at a little bit of a different lineup tonight. Back in are Jordan Frasca and Ethan Ritchie, and Aiden Spooner in the goal. So a different lineup than the one we saw last Saturday as bodies start to trickle back from camps. Peterborough also getting some additions in their Saturday night lineup, but that's the name of the game as we get the buzzer here. Second period set to go. It is Wright squaring up against Robertson to kick off the middle frame of our contest, and this time Kingston wins it to start the second. But it's quickly turned over, and the Petes get it inside the blue line. Siemens ahead of things, though. Offside, blown down. Decent crowd on hand to take in the first Leon Center meeting between the Petes and Fronts this season. Keep in mind, we're about 2 weeks away from when it all starts for real. October 8th here at the Leon Center against the Ottawa 67s is when it will all get going. This one sent down into the Peterborough end. Smith collides with the forward-checking Perrick, and then they drive, scores! On the doorstep, driving hard and paying the price. It was Shane Wright in past Austin, and the lead is cut in half. Now just 3-2 Petes. Talk about paying the price for a goal. Shane Wright did just that there. Spilled out, but got it in past Austin. And the Fronts nab the early advantage in the second, coming just 32 seconds in. This one sent around the boards as Spooner tried to play it. Couldn't. Alfano from a sharp angle was looking to catch Spooner napping, but did not get it on net. This one sent back into the corner by Edmonds, and then around the end wall. Frasca will take a walk. He comes through the neutral zone. Down that left wing, Jordan Frasca looking upstairs on Ty Austin. Had the space, just couldn't get the sights adjusted. But it was a dangerous opportunity for the Windsor 7th rounder back in 2017. Cross rink feed finds Ritchie near side. Dumped it off as he took a hit. Getting onto it is Josh Kavanaugh. Tape to tape. He goes with Lardis. Tried to drag it around Ritchie. He wasn't buying what Lardis was selling. And that one will travel down for an icing charge. 34 seconds off the clock. In our second minute of play here in the middle frame of tonight's action. Sarnia, a trip there on October 1st for the Peterborough Petes, will do it for their preseason. Shot comes in off the skates of Dezoti. Right wing side finds Hughes. Bodies go flying everywhere. And the Fronts will get it in. Collins on the hunt. Shoveled back to the left point. Burns to Poole. Thibodeau and Ludwinski, the assist on Shane Wright's tally. Out comes Spooner, and he'll fire it to the boards. That one bounces and allows Hughes to get it out to center. Collins with a bump on Dezoti. Now Kavanaugh tries to get some open space. Fronts deflect that one back. It will be Budnick, the last man there. Tried to go around the wall. Not a lot of gusto behind that one. This time, though, on his second effort, gets it to the left point. The shot from McCoy brings about a big rebound, and then high sticked was Gage Hayes doing the damage. Keegan McMullen. And the only question now whether it's 2 or 4, and I believe it will be 4. As Hayes cut on the play. And pardon me, it looked like they were signaling 4, but it is just 2 minutes on the clock. And so McMullen was the one that the refs were talking to, but it is in fact Callaway Mercer off. And I wasn't seeing things. They are calling for 4 minutes. I thought for a second I was losing my marbles early on in this season, but it is indeed a double minor against Callaway Mercer, so good opportunity for the black and gold to get into this one as they try a one-timer from Edmonds that goes off the hill, and then Frasca tries to sneak one on the blocker side. There's Edmonds holding things in at the face-off circle. It rolls back for Perrick. He'll steady things. Gives it to Wright. Snapshot through the wickets, comes all the way around, and that will exit the zone. Kingston 1 for 2 with the power play going so far tonight. Perrick will swing back and set up from behind Spooner. He comes out with it. Has a peek behind him, holds onto it as he glides to the neutral zone, and then reversed it for Wright. He swings it out left side. That is on the stick of Edmonds now. Protects the puck well as he got to the bottom of the dots. Now back to the top of the zone. That one, a wrist shot from Perrick, rode off a stick, and then the end glass. Cleared hard by the Petes and down. We are 50 seconds into this double minor against Mercer. Kingston has had some good looks as they got inside the zone, but that's where it fell apart. Here's Costantino up to the blue line, left circle. Still has it on his tape. Heads back to Collins with it. Middle of the blue line. Jake Murray wants the shot, never materialized. Now he'll call for it, and this time fires it in with traffic. Trying to rope that one back was Collins, and he couldn't before the Petes get this one down. Now a minute and a half through this 4-minute call against Mercer. And the Petes have held Kingston in neutral so far. This one dumped deep. McMullen whiffed on his attempt to clear it, lost his stick. Now Collins will curl on the wall. He'll set up, looking for a shot. There it comes through the glove of Austin, who did not look confident in his abilities there. Had a peek behind him and then was searching for it, but he got off the hook as that one comes whistling back down into the Kingston zone. Murray set it there. Wright swings in, but he almost had McMullen pick it off. 51 against 15. The inverted numerical rivals go at it. Wright through the high slot to that far right circle. Still has it. Roped in at the line. Perrick showing that hand-eye coordination from those years on the soccer pitch. Now pulls it in. Edmonds to the left circle. Back at the line for Perrick. Shot had traffic as Ludwinski came through the eyes of Austin, but that stays out. Now Wright. A minute and a half to go. That one deflected. Ludwinski trying to jam at it in there as Austin plays catch up in the blue paint. Kingston coming close but not getting it over that goal line yet. Austin back in position. Perrick, Edmonds, one-timer. Good toe stop there from Austin. And the rebound will be sent down ice by McCoy. A minute to go in the double minor against Mercer. Kingston bending the defense of the Peterborough Petes, but they have not broken yet. Perrick out to the right side. Quickly ahead to Soto. Finds Ritchie coming as the trailer. Back to Thibodeau. Right side is wide open. There, they'll send it for a ride. Reaching for it was Collins. Couldn't get it. Now a short-handed opportunity developing as Gagne carried it in and then muscled it around the end boards. Big hit thrown there by Collins on Ryers. Thibodeau flattened there as Smith stood him up. Ritchie back across the green, trying to get a touch with Soto, but they just could not find the finish they wanted. Now Ritchie, snapshot, scores! Ethan Ritchie from the left circle with time ticking off in the double minor. Makes it count, and we've got a tie hockey game again. 3-3, Ritchie pulls the Fronts even with Peterborough. Kingston's power play moves to 2-4-3 this evening as Ethan Ritchie with a blast from the left circle beats Austin on the glove side, and Kingston has clawed back from a 3-1 deficit with back-to-back tallies from Shane Wright at 32 seconds into the period and then at 6:14 from Ethan Ritchie, and we are back again to an even affair. Slapped up those right side boards. Back to it is Maillet. He stands his man up, and then Lardis flattened there as Budnick stepped up and gave him a ride for his money. Back onto it is Go. Just flipped that one, and Stewart's body got to it. Poole, but they're going to say a glove pass was the reason for that. And then Poole's flattened there by Maillet, and I think we might see a power play when the dust settles on this. We will indeed. Maillet off for roughing, and so Kingston back to work, going up a man here mid-second period. Maillet letting his emotions get the better of him as he flattened Poole there. Frasca with the wingers being Edmonds and Ludwinski. Shane Wright at the right point, Lucas Perrick the left. Robertson and McMullen up front for the Petes on the penalty kill. Smith and McCoy on the blue line. Here's Perrick off of a face-off win. They'll go around the outside wall, and Shane Wright settles it. Now back to Perrick. Backhand knife across to Edmonds. Can't get control. Short-handed break developing. Here's Robertson, but Perrick caught him and then knocked him off at the pass to break up that short-handed chance. Right in its boots. Frasca around the flyby of McMullen. Ludwinski can't control that. Now it's back to Frasca, right wing side to Ludwinski. McMullen was squished in there by Frasca, dug free by Wright. Perrick, big tee up from the line, and getting a piece was Austin with the blocker. Off the circle, Frasca tied up, he's brought down. Thibodeau and Ludwinski get the helpers on Ritchie's tally to make it a 3-3 hockey game. Here's Edmonds working his way out from that far corner. Gets to the blue line, head up, dropped it back as Wright takes it. Him and Edmonds with a little head communication. Back to Murray, he's deep on this play. Holds on to things, put it in front. The paddle of Austin broke it up. Coming the other side of center from well out, that is DeZotti. Got it in, Spooner played it, and then it settled back there. For France, creating a troublesome route for DeZotti to make a play there, and it is the black and gold coming up with it, right. Puck having trouble settling. There's Frasca who just flips it back around. Edmonds was in the hunt, it will get past Ritchie, and racing onto it here for Peterborough is Carson Whitson. Didn't get it. Big hit. Brings about a turnover as Soto plays it back in his own zone. Ritchie now off the end boards, took the feed, got it ahead. Collins lost control. Pétis back again, this time to Smith. touched on by Peterborough into the Kingston zone. Nothing further yet as Ritchie will take it. Comes out the right side. Puck got away from him. He's able to bounce it ahead. There's Collins, dodges a check at the last second as he got around the body of Leskover. 10:29 to play in the second stanza, middle frame of tonight's game. And it's been one Kingston knew they had to be better in, and they have done just that. Wright and Ritchie are the goal scorers so far. That's how we got back even. Poole knocks this one off of a face-off. Burns near point, just slapped it in. There's Hayes throwing his weight around. Puck is in that corner. Comes loose and then is backhanded off the glass and out. Burns got caught up, and then Robertson collides with Poole. Puck came free. France find it. Brooks had trouble getting control. Mitchell Brooks a little too hot to handle, shall we say. From well out, Robertson rips the one-timer in, and Aiden Spooner had to be sharp to get that one. And he is, as he smothers it and freezes it for the face-off, which takes us to our TV timeout. And the ice crew will come out to scrape things and clean it all up. If you're scoring at home, they have changed the primary assist on the Ethan Ritchie goal. Originally, it was Paul Ludwinski's, which would have given him a pair of points this evening, but they have switched that, and it now reads Ethan Ritchie from Maddox Collins and Chris Thibodeau at 6:14 on the power play to make it a 3-3 hockey game. We saw some of the changes the Fronts made in the offseason last game with Luca Caputi behind the bench, John McFarlane assisting him, Corey Cooper as the GM. One change we didn't get to see was the new equipment manager. Chris Cook departed for Hamilton, replacing him as Brooks Taylor, and Brooks now on the bench for tonight's game. As we get set to resume, the faceoff will be to the left of Aiden Spooner, which is our broadcast right. Jordan Frasca squaring up against Ryan Gagne. Gagne out of Chatham. Lost that one as Frasca bested him. Now it comes out to that right wing side. That's where Frasca takes it inside the zone. Nice pass back in there. Scores! Edmonds through the wickets of Austin. Beats them clean and puts the Fronts up 4-3 for the first time. They've got the lead. It was a quick transfer by Lucas Edmonds, and he wasted no time getting the shot off there as he snapped it through the 5-hole of Ty Austin and beat him cleanly to give Kingston their first advantage in this game. They lead a 4-3 mid-second period. That is now 3 unanswered for Kingston in this second stanza, and the Petes have not had an answer for it. Another one comes in, rebound, Poole, Stewart scores! Jackson Stewart able to corral the loose puck on Ty Austin's doorstep. He was down and out, and Stewart made him pay. 5-3 France. I mentioned in the first where the Kingston offense had gone, but they still had lots of time to make good on it, and they have done that here in the middle frame of tonight's contest. 1, 2, 3, 4 goals unanswered right now. The latest coming from Jackson Stewart. And you know, former Kingston Dave Stewart is there, smiling at home, watching probably if he's not here in attendance in person. Last week he had a scrap in the early moments of the first. Tonight he cashes one in. Past a down and out Austin. And Kingston now up by a pair, 5-3 in the back half of the second period. Here's Burns trying to open up some space. Didn't get it, so he'll head for some cover behind Spooner. Slides it to the right wing. Winger wasn't home. There's Ziemans, though. He got it. Already a pair in tonight's contest for him. Lost it behind the goal. Kingston with a home run feed for Ludwinski. He's going to be the first to arrive there, beating out the icing call. I'm not sure it would have been. Anyways, there's Wright upstairs off the glass. He was looking high on Austin. Maybe has to adjust his aim a little bit next time. Ludwinski, he takes a backside hit there as it was, I believe, McMullen on him, but there was also another body in the vicinity, and we'll see who gets nailed with the call here. And the other question is what they call it. Boarding, possibly? Indeed, that is it. And it will be Keegan McMullen headed off. The 15th rounder in the 2018 draft for the Peterborough Petes is off 2 for boarding, and the Fronts will go back to work already 2 for 4, clicking along at 50% efficiency rating. And now they'll have the opportunity to add to their lead. Here's Wright, who gains the line and then some. Lost it at the slot, no problem. Edmonds there to take over. He risks one that was looking on the glove side. Maybe Kingston has a book on Ty Austin, as that one came off the skates of Edmond and then is cleared by Ryan Gagne. Perrick, the lone man, back as everything gets sorted out. Out to the right wing. Frasca will dance around Maillet. Comes into the circle. Backhand was high and dangerous, but not on the target. Here's Edmonds, left circle. Back to Perrick. That one bounced off his skate. Across to Wright. Again at the line for Perrick, and he holds it in there just, but that's what you use the reach for. He's got a long stick, and he used every inch of it there. Right from the corner. Snap shot off the pad of Austin. Backhanded out. So the Edmonds goal reads Lucas Edmonds from Jordan Frasca and Jake Murray at 10-18. And on the Stewart goal, it reads Jackson Stewart from Nathan Poole and Paul Hughes at 10:35, as we have had this game flipped on its head in the second period. Here's another opportunity for Kingston. They've got 25 seconds to go in the power play. Left wing side, Thibodeau, I think, lost his positioning on the ice and crashed into the boards. Looked a little surprised out there. 10 seconds to go in the man advantage. Long pass up for Collins. He's got to step in on Kavanaugh. Comes in backhand. Austin there with the mitt that time, as he stuck with Collins as he rocked side to side and then took away the upper half of the net with that left mitt. It's got to feel good for Austin to get that save under him after a few rough minutes in the middle portion of our program. Comes back with a huge stop for the Petes and keeps this within reach. 25-18. The shot's now favoring the Limestone City. That rolling through the skates of Burns as he has to get back. Power play over. McMullen back out there. We are at 5 aside. Icing waved off. McCoy made a play on that one, connecting with Gagne. He's harassed from the back by Poole. Results in a turnover as Burns takes it. Burns with a backhander. Comes to the right side. Hughes follows through. Now Poole to the middle for Brooks. He got in over the line and just feathered it in. There's Poole arriving to give Go some trouble. Wasn't enough, though, as they're able to clear. Rushing it out, Maillet at the line. Taken to the boards by Burns. It's sitting left wing. McMullen forced it back down. Now it's dug out by Alfano. And Kingston will be the benefactor. Getting to it, Jordan Frasca. Over the line, left circle. Puck wouldn't settle for him, so he'll just play it out deep. Here's Hayes. Cushioned into the boards by McCoy. That results in a bit of a scrum. Stewart digging at it. Peterborough gets to it. James Go. Given a hit by Stewart there. And then McCoy dumps Stewart, and he gets the puck free to go. Dubois up ahead looking for Lardis. Couldn't find a clean outlet. Now Stewart with a deflection to negate the icing. 5 to go in this second period. Kingston on top 5-3. In the slot, little one-touch pass. Will get it to center from Justin Dezoti. Stewart counters for Kingston. Little flip pass missed. Now Go. Back the other way. A big hit thrown. Ethan Ritchie just off the glass and back the other way. Here's Thibodeau. Steps in, but they're offside as he snaps a shot in on Austin. Might have got a piece of the bar there. McCoy not happy with it. It was a bit of a late call, so I can see Thibodeau's side of it, but you have to make every effort to stop there if you're him. Draws right beneath us here in the gondola. Callaway Mercer against Shane Wright. Give Wright the face-off win there. He was strong in both games so far this preseason. Continues the trend here tonight. Comes back up the wall as they were knocked down. And racing with it is Whitson. Tried to dodge the hit of Perrick, but didn't. Shot, sharp angle. This time off the stick of Pétis, and it was troublesome for Spooner, but he recovers, and Whitson down in the corner. He's slow to get up and doubled over as he heads to the Pete's bench. Head coach Rob Wilson wanted a call there. France defensively were strong on the dot there. They won that one as Murray tried to find Wright. Had their wires crossed a little bit. That means an icing charge against the black and gold. And I say black and gold, and we can mean it this year. France getting set to unveil some new threads at the season opener on October 8th. Should be an exciting night. Also, another date on your calendars you should circle is November 13th. That game, not only will it be on CBC coast to coast, but it's also the Larry Mavety tribute game. If you've been involved in the OHL in any capacity in these parts, you no doubt had a encounter with Larry Mavety, and he passed away during the off season, and certainly was a shock to everybody here in the Limestone City and back home in Belleville. And so the France, in addition to having Mav behind both nets and Larry Mavety in front of the benches, will pay tribute to Mav on November 13th. A good opportunity for everyone to get out and really show their appreciation for Mav. And a good opportunity to get out and see the black and gold. There, a collision between Budnick and Gagne. Wasn't really a hit. They just kind of came and collided. There's a feed from Poole. He was trying to find Hughes on the other side. Couldn't, and now racing this one out will be Alfano. Lost it as he came over the line, but he was harassed with a stick, and it was an illegal stick as it got underneath the arm, and so we will have a hooking call against Maddox Collins, meaning Peterborough will get their third power play of tonight's game. Draw will be to our broadcast right as the Petes go to work with the man advantage. And there it's Kingston, though, besting them and getting it down ice. Perrick, he's going to fire that one with some fever, and It gets right into the Peterborough bench, which means a fan will get a souvenir for tonight's game. From the left corner, Kingston trying to clear it. It was blocked, and then the second effort will get it out just to center. McMullen left it sitting there for Kavanaugh, who comes through with it. Backhand pass is on the tape of Alfano, who then tosses that one around the zone. Robertson tried to go to the blue line. He missed his mark, and now racing onto it will be Ludwinski shorthanded. Has a man coming down into the slot. That was Edmonds, but he'll swing back and get into position as the Pete's attack. Alfano. Hip bump from Ritchie there. Robertson just shoveled it back deep. Alfano, Ritchie, they both take a stab at it. It finds Alfano as he's the bigger of the two. And then Costantino plows his man from behind, and that's going to be a 5-on-3 for the Petes if Kingston touches it, and they do. So the back referee calls boarding. And Peterborough headed to a glorious opportunity to get into this game, as Chase Costantino is off for boarding, and so Peterborough, taking their timeout, will look to strategize things with 90 seconds to go in the period and 42 seconds of a 5-on-3. Certainly not out of this game by any stretch. They led 3-1 after one, and Kingston's offense came alive in the middle frame. That's all the story so far. Shots on goal right now, 25-19 for Kingston, and it's reflected in the score. They didn't pepper Austin a lot in the first, but in the second, a lot more quality chances. But if Peterborough's able to pot one here, they're right back in this. Maddox Collins, Chase Costantino off for infractions. It will be 42 seconds of 5-on-3. Peterborough is going with Alfano, Robertson, DeZoti, McMullen, and Kavanaugh. Loading up the offensive tools are the Peterborough Petes here. Just one true defenseman out there. They have to be careful not to get burned. It is a Kingston win on the faceoff, but the Petes swarm Frasca and get the turnover. Kavanaugh wanted to come in. There's McMullen from the circle, and backing off was Spooner. Got a piece with the pads and keeps it out. Austin settles this one down. From behind the net, taking it will be Kavanaugh. Out to that left side, McMullen tries to get around Murray, couldn't. He'll leave it back to Kavanaugh at the blue line. Slides it down low. Robertson had it hop on him. Back to Kavanaugh. Robertson left circle. They want that one-timer, not getting it. Kavanaugh high glove side. It missed and hit the boards. Now Kavanaugh finds it. 5-on-3 over. It's now a 5-on-4. Off the left circle, there's Robertson across the dots. Hops on DeZoti and rejoining his Collins. To it, Perrick can't clear as Kavanaugh settles it at the line. DeZoti, Robertson, 35 seconds left in the period. There's a backhander to DeZoti. Snapshot looking glove side, a little too far left, and it will come back out to center ice. That one chopped down by Frasca. Peterborough with a sloppy change. They get away with it though as Murray takes it. High saucer dump out by Jake Murray will alleviate the pressure for the time being. Samuel Maillet gets to it. 5 seconds to go in the period. Maillet wide left. Big hit thrown there as Budnick stepped up into him, and then the buzzer comes, bringing a close to the middle frame, and it was all Kingston Frontenacs in the second period. It started 32 seconds in with Shane Wright getting Kingston to within one. Then Ethan Ritchie tied it on the power play at 6:14. Lucas Edmonds gave them the 4-3 edge at 10:18, and then Jackson Stewart added to it and made it 5-3 with 10:35 played, and that is where we sit with 40 minutes on the books. 5-3, Kingston in front. thanks to a outburst in the second, they lead in the shot department 25-20 as well. As we step aside, you are watching Peterborough and Kingston on the Kingston Frontenacs YouTube channel. Welcome back inside Leon Center. We are through 2 periods of the 3 in regulation, and through those 2 frames, it's a 5-3 Kingston lead as they exploded in that second period for 4 unanswered to get us to where we are at. Shane Wright, Ethan Ritchie, Lucas Edmonds, and Jackson Stewart all tallying in that middle stanza to get us to a 5-3 spot. As the teams get back on the ice and get settled in for the conclusion of this one, and whether it's regulation or we need extra time, we'll find out over the next 20 minutes. Shots on goal in that second period. Kingston had 13 and Peterborough had 5. To put us at 25-20 on the evening in favor of the black and gold. To my right, Ty Austin, patrolling the cage, wearing 30 for the Petes. And to my left, getting the third to himself, it will be Mason Vicari. Mason Vicari getting an opportunity for some action tonight. He looked very good against the Ottawa 67s last weekend. 67s young and pretty raw in terms of junior experience, but when Vicari was tested, he was there and looked very good. And so they will give him another 20 minutes of work here this evening. Robertson and Frasca at the dot. Referee Albers there, and we are underway for the third and final frame of regulation. And like they did in the first, the Petes win that opening draw. They got it to Siemens, who then just put it around the outside. Kingston got there, and they fire it the full length. Keep in mind, about 20 seconds left of power play time for the Petes as Costantino is off. Murray cuts back with it and then fires it to the open left side. That bounces down to the Peterborough end, and that will do it for what was left in that power play. Pete's now 1-4-4 in that regard. Kingston 2-4-5. Right corner, here is Thibodeau. Spilled out as he was caught by Dezzotti. Right point, Ritchie, a high blast off of, that came off of Costantino's one-timer. There's Ludwinski, ran into Maillet and then got twisted around. There, Dezzotti just lifts that one into the left corner. Ritchie for Costantino onto that wing. They go back to the middle where Shane Wright is. Up ahead on that play. Thibodeau on Austin. Loose puck. Wright was looking for it, couldn't find it. Ritchie came in to keep them honest, and we get some mitts, some sticks, and then the dust finally settles on that encounter. I know I've mentioned it a couple of times tonight, but Kingston wraps up the preseason Wednesday in Ottawa, and then they will get ready for the home opener on Friday, October 8th, as the Ottawa 67s come to town. 7 o'clock puck drop. Ticketmaster.ca or the Kingston Frontenacs website for tickets in advance. Poole able to strip that one and send it back, and Budnick's shot came skipping across the ice, not missing by much. Collins separates his man from the puck, and the Fronts will take over at their own blue line. Poole missed that one, and it will be an icing charge. Keep in mind, with restricted capacity, if you're planning to take in the game live, you will want to get your tickets in advance to avoid being disappointed on game day. Capacities just went up at OHL rinks to half of what it can hold, and for the Leon Center, that means around 2,500 and change, 2,600 and change. I don't have the official number in front of me, but that is my guesstimation on what they'll be allowed. Hit thrown in the Front's end, and that will have the puck out at the Peterborough line. McCoy to Alfano. Robertson dodges the check of Budnick, who stepped up. Now Burns shields the puck, comes through his own zone with it, still has it with Alfano all over him. Fanned on his pass back for Budnick, and then Budnick gets to it, finds Burns through the middle to Poole. One touched by Hayes. Peterborough coming the other way, but the breakout pass too far for Alfano. Then Hayes misses it, and it will roll all the way back to Donovan McCoy. Alfano got a piece as it waves off the icing. Now Murray patiently sets up behind his own net, waiting for the breakout to get set up. Finds Hayes to the middle. Stepping up is Mitchell Brooks. Drives wide as he bears down on Dezzotti. Rolling puck up on edge, and that will be settled quickly by Kavanaugh. Dezzotti again fanned on that one. And now they'll try the left side on their breakout. This time it's to Jaden Ryers. On to the middle for Gagne. He's got Dezzotti left side from well out. Vakari. A piece of it with the stick, and then the mitt off of that left side shot from Ryers. And he's equal to both of those with 3 minutes and some change gone in this middle frame. Just announced that Mayor Patterson and Dr. Kieran Moore, who used to be the chief medical officer for KFL&A and now is Ontario's chief medical officer, will be in attendance for the season opener on October 8th. So good opportunity to gather and say thanks for their work. Out through center. Weaving was Ritchie. Lost the handle, and so he just chops it back down low. Frasca will dig that one out of a pair of legs, and then back to it is Soto. Edmonds working that one. He'll go against the other 27, that being James Go. Lost that. Go can't catch up to it. Ritchie does. He'll keep it alive, put it off a skate, and now it bounces out. There's Paytee in with it, and then off for a change. Must say, Lucas Edmonds, in the 2 games I've seen from him so far, really impressive. A lot of times when a guy comes back from playing pro hockey, it's little things in his game that you can notice, and it was the same thing with Martin Chromiak when he came over 2 years ago. They just know the little things to do, like to open up space or the way that they shoot, and it's hard to explain, but if you know, you know, and you can see it with Lucas Edmonds that he has played at a high level with men, and it certainly reflects in the game, and he's a valuable piece the Kingston Frontenacs have added. I know a lot of people just thought, oh, it's just a guy coming over to play, but he's a lot more than that. As Shane Wright wins another face-off, back to Budnick at that right point, wants a shot, waits, and then fans on it. That will allow Dezzotti to clear. He slides it in behind Burns, catches up to it. Able to poke that one free. They get it at the line to Smith. Drags, fires. That one hit Ludwinski. Didn't even know he had it, and it'll be left there to Shane Wright. Out it's played off the end boards. Coming in was Thibodeau. Wanted to knock it around. Couldn't. Back on it now is McCoy. McCoy drives wide on Murray. Then Burns comes in as well. 2-on-1, and that frees the biscuit up. There's Burns. Chopped at by Wright. High slot turned over. A little backhand from Siemens to try to create some more offense. Blocked again. This one comes rolling back into the Peterborough zone. 5 minutes gone in this third period. Kingston on top 5-3. Down low, Nathan Poole picked up back-to-back assists on the goals by Lucas Edmonds and Jackson Stewart. He was a third rounder by the Fronts in the 2020 draft. Fired back in by Murray as it takes a high hop off the end dasher. There, Poole forces the hand of Siemens as he dumps it off. Vakari able to maneuver that one out to the wing, and then a shot comes in off the right point, which he blockers away. Paytee, nothing more than just a put back, and now he'll get another opportunity to do something, and that too was blocked. Wrist shot from Alfano. Puck is at the left point. That is Knocked in by Go, and then Alfano lost it as he was pressured by Hughes, and the reset button pushed by the Petes here at their own line. Turned over to Jake Murray at the offensive blue line. Chipped ahead by the fronts, right into the body of Go, who just hacks at it to get it loose. Now Stewart will flip it ahead and then give chase. There's Hayes on the Peterborough defense at the right point. Costantino kept it alive temporarily. Peterborough, though, shows some tenacity, keeps at it, and they're going to force it into the fronts end. Mercer with a little whip at it, didn't get onto the net. Cleared again by the fronts. Here's Maillet. Gave it right to Hughes, who comes down that right wing side. Brooks lost it. Little bump thrown on Maillet, and then a big one by Stewart. Costantino back to the Kingston blue line with it. Ritchie around a pair of hits and then doubles back. Kingston has to be careful not to get called for too many men, and they do so. Slid it to Burns and then return to Ritchie. Got around one check and then hands it off to Frasca, who takes a hit from Smith. That one comes back to the line. Burns held it in, but that allows a break the other way. Now Gagne looking for that backdoor pass, and it never came in. And then the net dislodged by a sliding Quinton Burns, who took the full brunt of that post with his body. I know that didn't feel good for him, but it was a job done. As they set the net back on its moorings. This time we will see Ryan Gagne against Shane Wright. Bouncing puck allows Lardis to come in, and he pulls it around. Back to it now. It is Perrick, who patiently waits in there. Left side, tried a breakout pass, and the stick instead decided to do its own breakout pass and went splitting into two pieces. Here's Murray up ahead, found Thibodeau, but he was stripped by Dezzotti. And then Ludwinski following through, lost it again to Dezzotti. Hit the trailer and Gagne snapped in there, blocked by Perrick. Thibodeau will pick up the pieces and come the other way with it. Chris Thibodeau over the blue line, flipped it past McCoy, and then finds it on the other side, but he took a hit for his troubles, and Josh Kavanagh was the one laying that one out. They dig away at it. Ludwinski, penalty on the way to the Petes. Costantino fanned, and then the Petes touch it, and we get the call. Hooking this time is the infraction. Off is Donovan McCoy. Kingston would love a little insurance here. I know they have a 2-goal cushion, but 3 would make them feel just that much more comfortable. They go forward off the face-off, walking in. A backhand from Collins almost beats Austin, but he just seals off the bottom portion of the net and then freezes it. 11:27 on the clock left in this frame. Pete's with a quick win, but they can't get it past Thibodeau, who was able to rush to the right point and keep that one inside the zone. Ritchie down to Collins, who then backhands it again on to Ritchie's stick. And then he does the same back for Collins. Trouble, though, as Robertson steps in and breaks that nonsense up. Gives it a rough ride, the full length. Then that will get them out of trouble for the time being. 30 seconds out on the power play. Jake Murray will direct traffic in there as Frasca goes left. Murray brings it down the middle. Then back again to Edmonds, out to that left wing side to Shane Wright. Finds Edmonds back in front. Nice little redirection from Frasca, but didn't get it on goal that time. Smith is sandwiched in there by Ludwinski. And then at the line held by Murray. Wright. Edmonds, he'll take over at that right position to the middle of the line for Murray. Wants the shot, instead finds Frasca across the dots, hops away from Wright. Back to Murray. Edmonds has space, he'll take it down low, little one-touch setup from between he and Ludwinski. And that one got a little too hot potato for him, and the Petes will clear. Vakari finds Edmonds at the blue line to start this rush the other way. Maybe time for one or two more chances. And Peterborough says, I don't think so, and down that goes. Vakari handling things behind his own net. There's Robertson, and then Robertson spills out Vakari, but he had Perrick there to bail him out. Right onto the tape of Collins, who dances in. 1-on-2. He got through one. Didn't get past Kavanaugh, though. And now Peterborough will counter. McMullen softly played that one in as we get back to 5-on-5 hockey. Here's Budnick for the Fronts. Snapped in and behind the Peterborough net. Almost played it right into the body of the oncoming forechecker, did Austin, but he'll get a pass on that one, and then they spring the elusive Carson Whitson, who snapped it off the glass here at Leon Center. So Peterborough got a chance there, but you got to hit the net for it to count, and he didn't do that. Nothing but end boards, and so it won't even register as a shot on net. Here's Budnick trying to work his way out of his own end and was given a hit for his troubles. And then the long pass by Patey is gobbled up by Stewart there. He'll erase his check up on the boards and then get it to Burns, who then makes sure to get it deep into the Peterborough zone to allow for a change on that one. Digging away was James Go, back behind the net. Jacques Dubois hits the brakes and waits for some space to open up for him. 8:10 to go in this period. Next whistle will be our television timeout, even though we don't have television coverage. They keep it in effect during the preseason. Hayes shallowly got that into the Peterborough zone. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm going to use it. Up the right wing side, rolling puck. Costantino there. Left it sitting, a little hook there, just enough to go unnoticed. Allows Peterborough to recover. Flipped ahead by Kavanaugh. Off the boards and to the goal line. Ritchie, Costantino, out to Stewart. Slapped at the line, back in by Kavanaugh. Ritchie with a peek over his shoulder, takes the walk himself. Made sure to gain center ice before snapping that one in. Ludwinski with a fresh set of legs, overskates it. Now it'll be played Alfano to Ryers. Back to Alfano on the right circle. Snap shot. Looked lethal, but never even came close to the net. Here's Hayes, tripped up as he broke out of the zone, and that will give Kingston another power play. And I believe that will give us our timeout. It does indeed. So out comes the ice crew again for the final time in regulation. Kingston on top 28-23 on the shot clock, and in the goals they are as well. 5-3 thanks to 4 unanswered in the second period. And that is where we sit right now in this one. 7:08 to go in the third. And it is the Frontenacs on top 5-3. They got out to a slow start. It was 3-1 after one in favor of the Petes, but then Kingston came alive during our middle frame of action. 4 unanswered, as I mentioned. And that's where we sit right now. Looking through the goals line, Jordan Frasca has a pair of points, a goal and an assist. Shane Wright with a goal and an assist. Nathan Poole with a pair of assists. Good to see everybody getting in on the action. Kingston going to start with Shane Wright on the point with Frasca, Ludwinski, and Edmonds up front. Perrick, the other blue liner, and he's the one true defenseman between this quintet. He's got it left point to right. Looking shot, did so. Austin lets out a huge rebound. Left circle, Edmonds rips that. He was looking blocker side. Now it's back at Wright, who feeds it at the line to Perrick. Back again, Wright walking in. Nice pass there. Ludwinski Found Edmonds, but he didn't have a clear look. So they work it to the boards. There's the Pete's trying to clear it. They can't. McCoy was stifled. Now Frasca. Perrick slapped that one a little off kilter. Shot goes rolling into that right corner. McCoy against Ludwinski. Now right as well as Frasca in there for support. It's a 3-on-3 fracas, resembling more like a rugby scrum, and finally it comes loose. Perrick to Edmonds, left circle, and getting a piece with the skate was Austin there. Right tried to glove it to himself and fell. Robertson will use that advantage and carry it out. Walks it in, tries to go upstairs on Vakari, who takes that away with the shoulder. Edmonds walks this one in himself as Kingston gets a change in. Tried to slide it to Collins. Couldn't. High off the glass and down into the front end. Halfway through the back half of this power play. That's my long way of saying 30 seconds to go in the man advantage. Ritchie with the dump in this time as Collins and Soto converge upon Maillet. Soto got it, but then Maillet said, I don't think so, and just one-handed him to the ice. Now Gagne will take in and work it against Soto. Maillet giving a shot to Soto in there. Now Kavanaugh doing the same. They work it. Soto accordion, and now Collins is given the business by Kavanaugh. Finally, it's free. Maillet takes it. We are at 5 aside again. Down to the Kingston line. This one rolls. They quickly up-ice it to Thibodeau. Put it in on Austin. There's Soto. Backhand. Austin trouble with it as it went into the mitt and then popped right out. And he seems to be having trouble with that tonight. Costantino there, but icing whistled first. 4:49 to go in the third. And that's one of the things I've noticed about Ty Austin tonight is that mitt. I'm not sure if it, I don't know if it's just a new trapper or it's a new style he's playing, but everything that goes to that mitt seems to be popping out as the Fronts rip one off that face-off win. This time it was Hughes doing the honors. Off the line, Budnick. Brooks, and then a shot with traffic from Costantino, and this time Ty Austin will smother it. Maybe a little frustration from the Petes coming through as Stewart's in there, and he's not one to shy away from that rough stuff either. The dust will settle on that with no calls made, and we remain at 5 aside. Quick on the defensive draw were the Petes, and they will get it out to the blue line, and then the red line now. Lardis bringing it on that left wing. Low glove. Vakari got a piece of it, but it came popping out. And then Robertson giving a big hit there as the physicality starts to creep back in. This one just lifted off the glass to center. Budnick, hard wrister, rides along the boards, and then to that far corner. Go, just reverses things. That's Maillet taking it. Maillet, a little saucer feed through everybody, and this one will indeed be called for icing as we get Lardis and Stewart into some shenanigans over there behind the play. This face-off, we see Jordan Frasca squaring up against Jax Dubois, and Dubois got the better of him on that one as it's just flipped over everybody. Knocked down by Murray, found Frasca. Carries down that left wing side, dodges a hip check, and then attempted to center it, but that one was broken up, and coming the other way with it, James Go. The pass for Gagne missed, and they will be charged with icing again. 3:35 on the clock this time. We get the right personnel straightened out, and we are set to go again. give Wright the victory on the dot, and it's held in by Ritchie. Kingston on the attack and looking for more. His pass just clogged up by McCoy. Then back into the corner it goes. Ritchie and Wright are there against three Petes, McCoy, Ryers, and Go. Now Wright goes 1-on-3, and it's the Fronts who win it. Thibodeau centering pass. Austin hopping on that one, and he wants none of that. Neither do the teams as they quickly switch up their lines and get some fresh bodies out there. Back to the Frasca trio. Head coach Luca Caputi goes. Rob Wilson to Jax Dubois. Frasca this time cleanly beats Dubois. They got the shot with traffic, but it bounced off a body, never got to the front, and the Petes will clear. Here's Burns. Frasca knocks it back. Left wing side, Burns back to the middle, and Frasca gets him out of trouble carrying it up. Edmonds tried to go across the zone to Soto. Never arrived. Now Frasca to Soto. And then he has his stick tied up and then got a shot, but it hit a shin pad and comes to the near wall. Budnick to Frasca. 2.5 to play, regulation. They center it, Edmonds scores! A beauty feed from behind the net by Matthews. Soto finds Lucas Edmonds, and he picks up his second of the evening to give Kingston a 6-3 late lead here in the third. Edmonds is so good at getting open, and he's got such a quick release and a strong shot that when Soto came out with it, you could see that one developing. Bang, bang, back of the net. Fronts have doubled the Peterborough Petes. They're up 6-3. Pass missed Collins, and they wave off the icing, though, saying it was playable. Right wing side, back to it is Carson Whitson. Tries to beat Perrick. Perrick gets the shoulder in there. He's rubbed out at the line. That's just knocked back in by Lescover. Now a high rip from Ryers was blocked. Mercer back to it. Taking it is Jackson Stewart. So it is indeed Lucas Edmonds' goal. Not that there was ever any doubt on that. And they've given Frasca the assist. I thought it was Soto, but I've been wrong before. We don't have the benefits of TV replay in the preseason, so I have to go what I thought I saw, but it is indeed Frasca the assist on Edmonds' second of the night to make this a 6-3 lead, and then a penalty called there against Stevie Lescover. Fronts back on the power play. Just golfed at by McMullen. Hayes was there to take it in and fires diagonally into that corner. Cleared out by Peterborough, who will play the remainder of this game shorthanded if Kingston does not score. 140 on the power play, 124 in the period. Here's Hayes, tried to center, but met the skates of Smith. Dug free, Tucker Robertson. Out to McMullen. Now Budnick getting into it with Robertson. In the corner, Ritchie left it to Hughes. Had nothing in front of him, so he cuts back. Final 60 seconds of regulation are upon us. Budnick to Thibodeau, who comes through with speed over the blue line now down that right side. Thibodeau takes a walk through the zone, back up to Brooks, and that will escape the zone. Costantino overskates it, back the other way. Here's Burns. Thibodeau. Oh, it ran right into Maillet, but looks no worse for the wear on that one. Popped right back up, which you like to see, as we've got now 30 seconds to go in this third period. Costantino gave it to the left wing. It's flipped ahead by Brooks. Around the wall for Thibodeau. Final 10 seconds now. Burns to Costantino at the dot. Snapshot from Brooks. Held on to by Austin. 5 seconds to play. Kingston's going to move their preseason record to 3-0. And as of right now, would have outscored their opponents 20-6 in the process. That one gets past Burns out to the neutral zone, and so Stewart getting into it with Whitson at the buzzer. Maillet steps in. The linesman separates, and then they get back into a little confrontation. Referees trying to get the players to their benches. And I think at the end of the day, the dust is going to settle, and it's going to be the Fronts who are 6-3 winners over the Peterborough Petes. It didn't look that way in the first, but then they came to life in the second and carried it on through the third and pick up another big win off of a 2-goal performance by Lucas Edmonds and a strong duo in the net of Aiden Spooner and Mason Vicari. 35-26, Fronts on top in the shot department as well, and they hope to carry this into Ottawa on Wednesday, where they'll make the trek to the nation's capital to wrap up the preseason, while the Peterborough Petes will do a trip to Sarnia on October 1st to wrap up their preseason before the regular season gets started, which for the black and gold will be October 8th against the Ottawa 67s. 7 p.m. puck drop on Friday, October 8th here at the Leon Center. For our crew here in Kingston, I'm Alan Atmansky saying good night from downtown YGK. You've been watching Fronts Hockey on the Kingston Frontenacs YouTube channel.